As soon as the film starts, we see a man coming out of the car. As soon as he came out of the car, someone attacked him and he was killed. The daughter of this dying man, the door was open waiting for her dad. And as soon as her dad is there, she sees this murder and also the killer. And seeing this, the killer, whose name is Jugo, felt very bad. The scene cuts and Jugo suddenly opens his eyes while sleeping and we find out that this was his dream. Ever since this incident happened to him, this incident had been coming in his dreams since that day. That's why he was very disturbed. The scene cuts and we see a politician named Matema. He has so much power that he uses his country's military for his benefit. Although he is not yet president, he is standing in the election. Now Matema found out that all the evidence of his black deeds was with Johnny, who used to work for him before, but now he was in danger. He gives this news to the National Security Agency and gives the senior officer Mo to catch Johnny alive or dead in any condition. Mo sends some soldiers to Johnny's house, but they don't find Johnny there. She gets worried and goes to the Gemini, who used to work in their IT department. She tells Gemini that using all the CCTV cameras in the city, I need Johnny's location right now. She gets busy with her work and the scene cuts. Finally, we are shown Johnny, who has a lot of people behind him. He is in a hotel room at this time and he also wants Matema to be behind him. That's why he called a reporter who was an enemy of Matema. Because of Matema, his career was ruined. On the call, Johnny tells that anchor, if you want to take revenge on Matema, then this is your chance. I have evidence against him. I am sending you some files, keep them safe with your life. After this, we meet Jugo again, who had gone out with his family. He dropped his son off at school and then he came to the market with his wife. This was a happy family. Jugo also came to work now, where we found out that he works in a normal bike repair shop. Here in the office, Gemini had also traced Johnny's location. And as soon as he traced, the soldiers went to his hotel to catch him. As soon as Johnny notices the soldiers, he immediately takes his car and runs away from there. The soldiers also follow him. They could have shot him, but he refused them, saying that we have to catch Johnny alive. And we have to destroy all the evidence he has. Johnny had come to Jugo at this time, because in the early days, he used to be Johnny's partner. But the last time he killed a man for Johnny, his daughter saw him dying. Since then, Jugo has left all the bad work. In the eyes of the people, his work was bad, but the fact was that his work was not bad. These people were fighting against Matema. Because he was in power, he could not say anything against him. Jugo was not ready to listen to anything from Johnny. But here Johnny tells him that the time has come to complete the mission that we started. Jugo refuses, saying that if I do this work, they will follow my family. So now Johnny says that this mission is more important than your family. And the people you are talking about are still watching you because they were following me before. Saying this, he now hugs Jugo. Secretly, he puts a device in Jugo's pocket and tells him that you are my last hope, Jugo. I can say that I am at the last stage, I can't do this work myself. And now you will have to do this. After this, Johnny goes out, sits in his car, and starts driving fast. The soldiers were also chasing his car fast. While Johnny was driving, he had come to a broken bridge. He left the car and now he is standing on the bridge. Before these people ask him any questions, he moves from here and dies. Jim and I had also seen his death in the security agency. And seeing this, he was shocked. Sadness was coming out of his mouth. And here it was revealed to us that although he was in the security agency, he used to work with Johnny's group. And he was very saddened by Johnny's death. Here, his leader Mo tells him to look for Jugo, who has gone to the market at this time. When he does not see his wife in the market, he calls her and tells her that he is going somewhere for 2 to 4 days and will return soon. After saying this, he went to the airport and stole some things from the locker there. Here, Jim and I traced him and sent soldiers behind him. Soldiers arrest him from here and take him to a room. They were forcibly interrogating him, but then Jugo attacked them and got himself released. Jugo had now come to his bike shop on foot because he did not want anyone to trace him through his bike. The things he got from the airport were on a map and a mark was made on the map. This means that Jugo had to go here. He now takes a new bike from the shop and starts his journey. Here, when Jim and I could not trace Jugo, Mo, i.e. his leader, kidnaps his family. Although Jugo was his wife, these people investigate what was the relationship between Jugo and Johnny. But Jugo's wife did not know anything about his past. When she does not get any information about Jugo, Tima calls Mo to his house and tells him that if you do not catch Jugo and tell him the green truth, what is his plan, and what evidence he has against me, then I will also tell everyone the truth about your dad. He shows him some evidence against his dad. When there was a war between white and black people, Mo's dad was secretly supporting white people, from whom he had received money. Now in the middle of the night, Jugo calls Jim and asks him what his plan for the future is. Why is Johnny not contacting me? In response, Jim tells Mo that he is dead. Hearing this, he also went crazy with grief because, for Jugo, he was like a family. Johnny had raised him like a father. At the same time, Jim gives him another bad news that Mo had kidnapped his family. Hearing this, Jugo says that I am coming back there immediately. In response, Jim says no, then complete your mission. I will handle all the conditions here. I will get them out of here somehow. Coming back to his office, the next day Mo gets the news that Jugo had stolen a bike from his workshop. In such a situation, she gives an ad in the newspaper in the name of a bike thief. Now as soon as Jugo stops to refuel, the owner of that fuel station recognizes Jugo. She does not follow Jugo but calls the security agency and informs him about it. On the other hand, in the security agency, Jim and I go to Jugo's wife and tell her not to worry. Jugo has sent me and I will get you out of here. Just after saying this, she came out and found out that another agent had heard all this from her. She goes to her boss Mo and tells him the truth. The boss orders Jim and I to be arrested. When the officers were taking him away, Jim and I broke our handcuffs and attacked them on the way. She comes to Jugo's wife's room and says, "Run after me quickly." "No, you will stay here." While running, she brought Jugo's wife to a terrace from where there was no way to go down. It was an under-constructed area where Jim and I moved and asked Jugo's wife to move too. She was scared, but if she didn't move, she would still be killed. So she moves in fear. But because she didn't move properly, she slipped down. Jim and I tried to save her, but she was killed. On the other hand, it is shown that many soldiers were standing in the way to catch Jugo. Jugo had seen this from a distance and knew that these soldiers had been sent after him. He does not turn his bike and neither does he stop. Instead, he comes from a distance, notices an oil container, and shoots it. Because of this, there is a very big blast there and all the soldiers are scattered here and there. In such a situation, Jugo takes the bike out of there and takes it away. Tiger, who was the head of this mission, who had to catch Jugo at any cost, was now following him through the helicopter. So Jugo stops his bike and as soon as the helicopter turns towards him, he shoots bullets at the helicopter again and damages it. And so he takes his bike and moves on. Now it was evening, he had to stop somewhere. He hid his bike in the bushes and started looking for a place to stay for himself. And then he saw a helicopter from a distance. And he found out that the Tiger's people, i.e. all those soldiers, were sitting in the shade nearby. For the time being, he becomes quiet, but at night he attacks the shade as soon as he gets a chance. And kills all the soldiers present there. After killing all the soldiers, the only one left here was the Tiger, i.e. the leader of them all, who woke up after hearing the noise. Here the fight begins between him and Jugo. At first, Jugo beats him a lot, but then a time comes when the Tiger becomes heavy on him. So much so that the Tiger stabbed him in the stomach and injured him. But Jugo could not accept defeat. He gets control over himself and then, with all his strength, picks up the Tiger and throws it away. Now he was injured. He did not kill the Tiger, but he left the Tiger and rushed towards the helicopter. At gunpoint, he took the pilot and flew away. Now, where he had to go, he stopped the helicopter at a distance and thanked the pilot for letting him go. He was so injured that he could not even walk. After walking for a while, he fell unconscious. And the people nearby picked him up from the bushes. They took him with them. These people were also from his group, who treated him. And 1 or 2 days later, Jugo recovers completely. Then these people take him to a special place where some stuff is made for him. After digging into that place, when he took out the stuff from there, it was safe and had a lot of money and other information for the mission. It also had evidence against Matema. After taking all these things, the villagers give him a message. And they say, "Go and complete your mission." He was moving forward for the mission when he got a call from Jimnai. Mo was talking to him on Jimnai's phone. He threatens him that whatever evidence you have, give it to me. He cuts off Mo's mouth and asks, "Where is my wife?" And he says that your wife is dead. Hearing this, he cut off the call in anger. Now Jugo contacted the man with whom Johnny had asked him to meet. The same reporter whose life Matema had ruined. He calls the reporter to meet him. He gives him all the evidence and says that before exposing all this evidence, you will have to help me. You will have to save my son. He had also agreed to this. This anchor first finds out about Jimnai. And all these people go to Jimnai's house, where Jugo says, "I trusted you, but you didn't take care of my family." In response, she says, "It's not like that, Jugo. I tried my best. But at that time, the situation was out of my hands." He also knew that it was not Jimnai's fault. He says, "Okay, listen to me. Now I have to save my daughter at any cost. Find out where she is." Jimnai now searches and finds out that Jugo's son is at Matema's house. In the darkness of the night, Jugo had now reached Matema's house to rescue his daughter. He also met a lot of security officers outside. He killed him very calmly and quietly. After that, he entered the house, and from the backside of the gun, hitting his head, he unconsciously tied him up. When he regained consciousness, Jugo asked him, "Tell me where my son is." Before he does anything to Matema, Matema threatens him. "If I get a scratch, then see, your son will be killed." Jugo does not listen to him, and from his phone he calls Mo and tells Matema, "Tell him to bring my son here quickly." Matema was tied up at that time, so his strength was nothing. He also told Mo to do as Jugo said. While these people were waiting for Jugo's son, Matema tried to buy him. She was greedy to leave him alive. But Jugo said, "No, I will not be sold by someone like you. You cheated on your people. And because of you, many people like us are starving." Suddenly, they hear the sound of fire from outside. And Jugo finds out that Matema played tricks with him. He had called a lot of soldiers here. The soldiers were still being led by a soldier named Tiger. Like Jugo had left him alive there. Jugo himself was a trained commander. He had been trained to fight more people from the beginning. Without wasting time, he takes his gun in his hand and keeps killing everyone. And then finally, Tiger survives. Now to fight Tiger, Jugo throws his weapons. And Tiger too. Both of them fight. And finally, Jugo was just about to kill Tiger. But in the meantime, Mo followed him with her son. Taking her son at gunpoint, Jugo threatens to leave Tiger. "And give me all those documents that you have. Otherwise, I will shoot your daughter." As soon as he heard his daughter's name, Jugo raised his hand. Hearing this, Jugo says, "I don't have the documents anymore. They will be in front of the whole world tomorrow." During all this argument, Matema had also come out, which was left by the soldiers. He says to Mo, "Come on, kill Jugo. If you want to prove that your father was not a thief." Now Mo already knew this, that if all the wrongdoings of Matema come in front of everyone tomorrow, then he will go to jail anyway. So it was better that he killed Matema today instead of yesterday. She shoots Matema here. Now Matema was killed in front of Jugo. And Jugo knew a lot more secrets about her. That's why Mo comes forward to kill her too. But before she shoots, the sound of a powerful bullet is heard here. And it is seen that Mo herself is dead. And no one else was going to shoot her. Instead, it was Jimnai who came here on time. Here Tiger, who was standing with great courage. He was going to shoot Jugo now. But Jimnai also shot him and killed him. All such bad people, all corrupt people die here. And then Jugo takes Jimnai and his son from here. The next day it was shown that all the evidence against Matema had come in the news. Everyone now knew the truth about Matema. That's why no one regretted her death. While Jugo was now moving to another city with his son. And he still had the memory of his wife with him, with whom he loved very much. And in this whole incident, he was only sad about losing his wife. By showing this, the story ends here.